The Christmas miracle, Bills Mafia. The Buffalo Bills could just be one win away from beating the New England Patriots and making the playoffs in 2023. Because of all the AFC losses yesterday, the Buffalo Bills currently have a 93% chance at making the playoffs. And it's not just making the playoffs, because we can clearly see that we actually have a 25% chance at hosting the wildcard game here in Buffalo. Literally 5 of the 6 teams that we needed to lose actually lost, other than the Miami Dolphins going against the Dallas Cowboys. But mind you, we blew out those Dallas Cowboys. The Miami Dolphins hardly won with a game-winning field goal at the very end of the game. But we could see the Steelers beat the Bengals, the Browns beat the Texans, the Falcons over the Colts, the Bucs over the Jaguars, as well as the New England Patriots beating the Denver Broncos. If this doesn't get you in that holiday spirit, I'm going to show you exactly what will. The 9-6 Buffalo Bills have 2 remaining games, one of which versus the New England Patriots and also the Miami Dolphins. And this article here will show you what happens when we click on the Buffalo Bills beating the New England Patriots. The playoff chances rise to 98%. The ability to host a wildcard game actually goes up to 29%. And we all know the Miami Dolphins could very well lose to the Baltimore Ravens next week, as well as the Buffalo Bills, chalking up those 2 losses, which would solidify the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. And if we say that the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins, we are going to have a 100% chance at making the playoffs here. We're going to have a 58% chance at hosting a wildcard game here in Buffalo. One way the Buffalo Bills could 100% get into the playoffs next week is by beating the New England Patriots. The next thing that would have to happen here is that the Chiefs would actually have to beat the Bengals. And then what we would also need are the Seahawks beating the Steelers. And we could see that the Buffalo Bills would have a 100% chance at making the playoffs. We would have a 30% chance at hosting a wildcard game. And we can see a Miami Dolphins fan in Miami's game yesterday. We could see that he is upset about all the away fans filling up that stadium. And we all know Week 18 is going to be filled with a ton of Bills Mafia. All the snowbirds living down there in the winter. It's going to feel like a home game for Buffalo. He says, "I'm so sick of the fans, away fans, taking half of this stadium. It infuriates me." As of right now, only one team has clinched the playoffs in the AFC. In the hunt, we still have the Miami Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Jaguars, the Browns, and then we have the Buffalo Bills, who have climbed to the 6th overall seed right now with a 9-6 record, 1 game ahead of the Indianapolis Colts. And in my previous video, I will link it above, you will see that teams like the Browns, the Colts, the Texans, they are all playing one another in the final 2 weeks, which will definitely guarantee a loss for one of them. And I know how exciting it sounds to not only make the playoffs, but to have a wild card game hosted here in Buffalo, but we all know the recipe to win at road games is by running the football. The Buffalo Bills are clearly trending up doing this with not only James Cook, but this offensive line, Leonard Fournette getting some playing time last week. We are balling out of control, even with Josh Allen running it himself. And clearly the Bills were playing on a short week, being that we played on Saturday, as well as having to travel all the way to the West Coast. Statistically speaking, it's very hard for East Coast teams to travel from one coast to another, and the Buffalo Bills were able to overcome and win that game, which is definitely a great sign to see, as well as going against an interim head coach with not a lot of data, not a lot of film study there for Sean McDermott and these Buffalo Bills, plus the utilization of Easton Stick and his running ability, utilizing these quarterback sweeps. I mean, the Buffalo Bills defense, with all the injuries that have occurred this year between Daquan Jones, who is going to be coming back, hopefully against Miami Dolphins, but Matt Milano, Trey White, a lot of people going down, even Terrell Bernard in that game getting a little bit banged up, Micah Hyde not being there, AJ Epinesa not being there, although they did practice on a limited basis that week. We should be getting these players back. But you really reflect upon what has occurred throughout this entire season. I between all the hit pieces on Sean McDermott saying that he should be fired, between the Von Miller news, between the injuries, between firing Ken Dorsey, we have been through an awful lot this year, but I truly believe it has built our character for this season. It has built the DNA of the 2023 Buffalo Bills. Our backs are up against the wall, and we are going down swinging. Having to go all the way to London, where the Jacksonville Jaguars spent 2 weeks there ahead of the Buffalo Bills, really goes to show you that we are actually traveling very well. Yes, we had to travel to the Cincinnati Bengals and we lost. Yes, we had to travel to the Philadelphia Eagles and lost, but we lost by the skin of our teeth. We never get blown out. So if the Bills don't happen to get a wild card game in the playoffs, we still have showed this season that we are fully capable of winning some road games. I'd like to finish this video off by wishing everyone a Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, and a wonderful new year. I have a little poem that we wrote regarding this week's miracle. 'Twas the night before Christmas, the gridiron was bright, with matchups so thrilling under the stadium light. The Bills faced the Chargers, a battle so grand, a miracle unfolded as the victory they planned. In Buffalo they rallied, their spirits aflame. Against the Chargers they played a remarkable game. The football danced, a festival ballet, as the Bills triumphed in a spectacular display. To the north, the Steelers clashed with the Bengals with might in a showdown of rivals under the wintry night. A clash of the Titans, the gridiron did quake as the Steelers emerged in a yummy feast they did make. Down in the dog pound where the Browns made their stand against the Texans, a victory so grand. Battles were fought on the field so divine as the Browns conquered a holiday sign. In Atlanta, the Falcons took flight in the dome, facing the Colts in a clash to unthrone. With grace and with skill, they scared through the air. The Falcons prevailed, a triumph so rare. To the south in Tampa, where the Buccaneers sailed against the Jaguars, victory never frailed. Of Pirates' tale written on the field with finesse, and the Buccaneers conquered a holiday success. In New England, the Patriots stood strong against the Broncos, a clash so headlong. With stunning strategy, cunning, and precise so keen, the Patriots emerged, a win on the scene. So on this night before Christmas, a tale so divine of football miracles, under the stars they shine. The gridiron echoed with cheers and with roars, a festival symphony on this night of football scores. Appreciate you guys. I hope you all enjoy Christmas and a wonderful new year. Go Bills.